So this is a short video talking about this new source that I'm having you use for this paper, CQ Researcher. You can see it right here. I've given instructions for how to get to it in the previous content module that I made available to you. Most people will get this far and start searching for a subject. I've chosen CQ Researcher. It's formerly called the Congressional Quarterly Researcher because it's a good periodical, as I've said. It was originally created to try and help Congress because there were intelligent people going out to Washington but didn't know the specifics of every subject. I was trying to be relatively unbiased, or really trying to include all the biases on a subject. Since then, it's been used more by students, and college students specifically, trying to understand subjects in a hurry and do a good job in doing that. Maybe that says something about Congress, I don't know. But we use it here today because it's a good source, and rather than me hand down the criteria for what I think are going to make it good for you, I want you to investigate it as it is given to you in a specific issue. There's no substitute for actually digging in and looking at that specific example, just as Scudder looked at his fish. And that's what I'd like you to do with your subject. If we take a look at specific subjects, like this one is water shortages, even though they'll have similar sections for each CQ researcher, they'll cover the subject in very custom-made ways. And I want people to notice that as you get into your source and look over how it's covering the subject. I can't tell you what's going to be most important in terms of criteria for you, because it will depend on the issue involved. It's not just a matter of guessing what I think about the source, because you can already tell a little bit what I think. But it'll depend also on the issue and how it's covering the issue. Other things I'll make notice here of: good sources have authors, people who take responsibility for them, even if they're written by an organization or a corporation, such as the Red Cross, an organization. Someone will take responsibility for that information. If you don't have an author, then why? If you click, you'll get actually information on Mary Cooper. I'll tell you all about her, everything you need to know about her. Here we go, Mary Cooper. And the citation, because everyone will be worried about that citation. I'd like to make it as easy as possible, frankly, and to get people to do it as accurately as possible. I've had students spend a lot of time trying to figure out citation and get it right, and waste a lot of time on their and ignore their writing. So rather than do that, I want you to really zero in on what's necessary for figuring out the writing, and let's get that citation out of the way immediately. Now here on this source, on the menu on the top, they have a citation generator, a generator that creates the citations for you. About half my students will get this far, and it's really handy, as you can see here. It'll generate a citation for you that you can copy and paste and put in your paper. Why don't you go one step further to show that you know the tool? Click on MLA style, and it'll give you the style that I request, the style that's common for my field, Modern Language Association style. Now, you'll notice with citation style, if you've done this before, it has central pieces that haven't really changed since book publishing, even though they've adapted themselves to the electronic media. They have author at the start. Sources have authors. If you don't have an author, why not? Somebody's writing it, after all. You have title information, title of the smaller unit, and title of the periodical. You have the date it was published. You have the page number frankly, in the old format, the way it was published originally, and still is today in print, crush tree bound volumes. Then the fact that it's a web source that we accessed, and then when it was accessed. I have students who say, why not just the URL? And it's because that's not sufficient. You've got to give more information to show that you've really known how to cite the author and cite the source. Originally these were given, these citations, so that other people could check and find the information as well. So do you. So here is the source information. All you need to do once you get this far is copy it into your paper. I'll show you a paper that has this information in it. It has at the end a works cited, centered at the end of the document, at the end of the paper. It'll have the same thing copied out in hanging paragraph format. If you don't know how to do a hanging paragraph, I've shown you two examples now, but you do it right here on Word. Each particular software package, word processing package, will have a different version of it, but there's the hanging indented paragraph. Okay. And there it is. Same information. Why not just the URL? That lonesome little URL on the page. A student could copy that out, but it won't always get you back to the same place. Sometimes the URL will be the long search string, very ungainly. I'm never going to type it in. You want to give information that's going to be relevant. CQ Researcher is a very commonly well-known source. All I need is the fact that it's from this periodical, when it was first published, the fact that you accessed it on a particular date, all of that information. And that's the central information that you need. and no more. So don't just stick with the URL. Oftentimes that's not necessary at all. Other things I'll point out while I'm here. If you're looking for how to cite sources, look at the Inverhill's website, because if you look under student sources, especially the library, they've done a really bang-up job at giving you links to help you out when you're doing research, as we may need next week. I'll just give you an advanced preview of this. If you're looking just part of the way down the page, or if you just want to click on it where it says citation styles, right there, it'll bring you right to it. It'll give you the host of different citation style generators, examples, and even the Inverhill's Writing Center Noodle tools, which we subscribe to, and some other suggestions. So this is a great place to show a citation style format. Don't let it slow you down. If anything, contact your instructor and they'd be glad to help.